I bought a book. Bought a book online. It wasn't what I expected. Hello, welcome back to my world of stuff. My name is Paramount. Yes, an unboxing for you today. An unboxing. I haven't done an unboxing for a while. I said unboxing 3 times then. I bought a book online a couple of weeks ago. Now, you'll remember the dim and distant past when those Oasis tickets went on sale a couple of weeks ago. You remember all the furore, and I posted my own video about my attempts to get tickets, and which came to naught. But as I've been prepared to spend the money on the tickets on Mr. Credit Card, I decided when I didn't get tickets, well, I might as well splash it out on something. And during that week, I'd had a number of adverts popping up on my Facebook feed from Taschen books. That's Taschen books. They do these beautiful collections of comic strips and very rare limited edition art books and all sorts of things. And I think I bought 1 or 2 things from them in the past, but I've never bought one of their collections of comic books. Now, I have bought them from the Folio Society. I bought a Captain America one a few years ago, which was a really nice boxed, chunky little box thing with a reproduction of an early Captain America comic and a couple of bits and pieces. It was lovely. And I bought that on a sale. And I had this Facebook post I kept seeing from Taschen saying that they were reducing a couple of their Marvel Comics big edition booky things, which I think cost 150 quid, and they were reduced online for a weekend period only. And I thought, well, as I didn't get my Oasis tickets, and that money I was going to sort of spend on Oasis tickets, I thought, I'm going to get one of these books. The one that I fancied getting was the X-Men collected edition of a run of X-Men comics from the early days of in the 60s. X-Men was something I always remembered reading at the time, back in the 70s when I discovered Marvel Comics, but it was never my go-to comic character. I much preferred Spider-Man, Daredevil, your sort of soul heroes. And I liked the Avengers and the Defenders. There were some others I sort of dabbled with, but I was much more into the solo heroes. I was interested in the X-Men. Of course, we've had the X-Men films, we've had a couple of Wolverine films, and Deadpool and Wolverine, and there's more to come from the X-Men, I think. So I thought, I'm going to buy the X-Men one. It wasn't quite what I expected when it turned up. It's a massive beast of a book. I'm going to show you it. It came in a big cardboard box of its own, and inside, it's so heavy I can barely lift it. Inside, it came in this very nicely illustrated replica of the cover of the first X-Men book. This is a box in itself. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the phone off its stand and I'm going to unbox this. I have unboxed it and looked at it. I haven't opened it properly yet. I thought I'd do that on video. So this is look at the size of this thing. It's absolutely huge. So yeah, let's unbox it, shall you? So here it is then in its huge box. So opens up. And this is the book. I mean, look at this thing. It is so huge. Oh my God. And I put the box to one side. This is it. I mean, look at the size of this thing. As the actress said to the bishop. No, I won't go there. So anyway, look at this. Look at the size of the spine of this thing. It is absolutely, and it's huge, and it's heavy. I mean, I'm not going to be able to sit reading this on my lap. This is going to be a desk job. So there's the cover. Again, it's the cover of the first issue of the X-Men comic. I'm trying to adjust the camera so you can see it better. It is just a huge beast of a book. On the back, it's got the cover of issue 21. I don't know if that's a important X-Men issue or not. So let's just take the cellophane off it and I'll show you how it looks inside, because it is a monster of a book. And I said I'm quite pleased. I mean, I wouldn't have paid the full price for it, but it's probably worth it if you're a collector. And I just think sometimes these things are nice to dip into. So here it is. It is literally so heavy. It really hurts to lift it up. It's absolutely nuts. So anyway, there it is. And I will now take the camera off the stand and show you it properly. Okay, right. Okay, here it is. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this monster book. As I said, look at the spine of it. I mean, it's just insane. I don't know how many pages in it. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But there we are. We open it up. Really nicely illustrated inside there with Action X-Men scene. Then you open it up and there we are. Fabulous first edition, copy 4180 with a certificate of authenticity, which is stuck to the page. And then more. I mean, this is, wow, this opens up. You probably can't see it incredibly well with the light and so on, but it's got an image of, taken from the comics of the X-Men, but folds out. I mean, yeah, this is quite an extraordinary thing. From the power, by the power of thought, I'm able to move objects at my will, says, I think that's Jean Grey. Oh, you are. A foreword by Chris Claremont, who of course is the most famous writer of the X-Men during the 70s and, I don't know, possibly the 80s, because I lost track of Marvel sort of in the 80s. It's actually even got a bookmark. Yeah, it's a very special thing. So you've got that, and then you've got, yeah, looks like a page of a reproduction of a page of original art. Then you get another, look at this, I mean, yeah, sorry about the sun shining in. I pulled the blinds up when I came in. And then Fabian Nicieza. Don't know who that is, but obviously it's somebody from the world of Marvel. I think then again you've got what looks like the original art page. This is extraordinarily comprehensive. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, it is a marvellous thing. And I didn't realise there was going to be sort of text pieces as well and early art things. I mean, I'm actually going to stand up because it might alleviate the effect of the sun a little bit. Yeah, this is, whoa, this is extremely, I was just expecting, to be honest, pages of the original comics, but it's got Kazar, who's sort of Marvel's version of Tarzan. Pages from that, and then, wow, so much text stuff. I'm not saying much about it because it's just startling me how much is in it. I've noticed that the pages are a bit, I mean, it's just it is a beautiful book. And there we get to, eventually, we get to the comics themselves. X-Men issue number 1. Republished in a large sort of format. My secret new Dynaflex method, Mr. Atlas. And there it is. X-Men number 1. It looks, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book for comic strip and X-Men fans generally. So now you get the comic strips republished. There's number 2. And, I mean, look at the size of this book. It is absolutely nuts. Oh, and there's letters page, reproduced letters pages. So they reproduced the whole issues, adverts, letters, and all. So I'll just pick a random place. Because I just say, I remember reading X-Men comics in the 70s, but I don't remember them as such, you know. I remember reading them, but this is going to be this is something to pick across through the winter, I think. Issue 15, The Origin of the Beast. This is sort of halfway through the book. These comics, of course, are the naive early days of Marvel with Stan Lee and Steve Ditko and so on, and Jack Kirby. But that's the sort of comic I like. I can't do the modern comics, as I've probably said before. I don't like the artwork. I don't like the pseudo-adult look of them. I like these comics because they're just nostalgia, and they just remind you of the excitement of those early days of superheroes when Marvel were taking superheroes in a new direction. Some of the pages are quite glossy. Some are more matte. There we are. This is X-Men number 20. The Mimic. So let's see how far we go. I mean, it's not paginated, so I can't tell you exactly how many pages. But it's got to be about 1,000. Here we are, and there's a sort of a credits page at the end. So this takes us up to, oh, here we are. There is a page thing. 660. Yeah, it's about 675 pages. I mean, that's some reading material right there. So it goes up to issue number 21 of the X-Men. So, yeah, fabulous book. 664. Yeah, about 670 pages. So yeah, there it is, the X-Men. I'm finding it hard to describe it in a way because it's such a beast of a thing, but I'm glad I've got it, and it is something. I mean, I have bought, as I've mentioned, lots of comic-y things over the years in that nostalgia thing, but I haven't read a lot of them. This, I think, is going to be something I'm going to lay out here in my cinema room on my recording desk. I'll come in and read an issue here and there, and I'll plough my way through this book across the winter. Yeah, it's fabulous. So I'll just give you a long-range shot of it again. The X-Men from Taschen books. You are 63 to 66, so it's volume 1. And so it's got a little bookmarky thing there. What a great book. So, I'm now in a different location. There it is in all its glory, the X-Men new book from Taschen. As you can see, it's an absolute monster. Really pleased I've got it. Hope you've enjoyed this little flick through the book. I know the camera was a bit all over the place, different ratios and so on, but I think it gives you an idea of what's in the book if you're thinking of buying it. And if you are, nip over to Taschen Books online, you'll find it there, plus lots of other highly collectible volumes. Right, hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you are new here, like and subscribe, leave a comment, share, tell your friends. I'll see you soon. Until I do, keep taking the stuff.